Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Nick Good. I'm the founder of the Good Home Team, and I have Elizabeth Austin joining us. She is our team leader and sales director here with the Good Home Team at Keller Williams. And we wanted to talk with you today about the shifting real estate market that we're currently experiencing in Dallas-Fort Worth. So, you may be, if you're a client of ours, or if you have your home on the market, or if you're buying, you may already be seeing and feeling that shifting market. But we wanted to just chat with everyone and talk and educate our future clients and consumers about what they can expect when they put their home up for sale, or when they start looking to start that home buying process. So just a little bit before getting into Elizabeth, let's go over some numbers. According to this latest Dallas Morning News article by Steve Brown and the Real Estate Center at Texas A&M University, sales of pre-owned single-family homes dropped 1% annually in August in all of North Texas, right? So when we really break that down, we saw sales last month were down almost 31% in far North Dallas. They dropped 24% from August 2017 in Allen, 21% drop off in Capel, a 16% drop off in Plano, 11% drop off in Richardson, and 9% drop off in Frisco. And I can tell you, we definitely felt that drop, over the last 45 days with the sellers that have hired us. We're seeing showings happening, but not a lot of offers just coming in right away. We're having to go back and put our 2010 and 2011 hat on and look at doing some getting more strategic again with looking at reverse offers. So
I think that's real quick. I think that's really impactful, those places that you mentioned, because, and I think this is also maybe the most shocking, is those have also been our hottest markets for the past 3 to 5 years. And those are now the markets that we're seeing the biggest number of drop in and affected. So
right. And look, it was coming at one day, it was coming, right? So we started feeling personally the shift last year in July of 2017.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at some of our posts and our videos, you may think that the running joke in my office is I'm like the weatherman. And like I always respond back is eventually the weatherman gets it right. And so and so we felt it in July of 2017. Of course, there was that leveling off, and
it was the last week of July. It was like a hard stop.
It was. It fell off the table, and to be honest, we weren't prepared for it then.
And guys, if you're not familiar with the market, yes, we know regardless of whether you're in a buyer's market, seller's market, there's always cyclical markets every year and peaks and troughs in there. And July is not normally a time that you feel that. So that was definitely our first indicator, nor was there really a reason for us to point to of why the market was having that correction at that time, which just led us to believe that was the beginning of the shift.
Absolutely. And let's talk about what the shift means. Every time that we're talking to potential clients of ours, or even other real estate agents in the industry, we always like to say, we don't want to sound negative. This is not a shift like a recession style shift.
Yeah,
this is
not there to scare people.
Yeah, it's a correction, right?
Yes.
It's the market starting to correct itself. I mean, we had this shoot up like this, and then it's starting to level off, and it will dip a little bit, but it's not recession style dips where we saw 10 to 15% price drops, right?
Right.
It just means that we're going to level out, that you're no longer probably going to expect 15 offers in 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
And so, Elizabeth, with you working, day in and day out with our clients and sellers and buyers, and coaching and motivating our agents, what are you experiencing in the, with boots on the ground? What are you feeling personally with your clients on the sale and purchase side?
When it comes to the sale and we're talking with sellers, we're having to start preparing them for longer days on market. We're having to talk different strategies with pricing and being very competitive with our pricing. I mean, there is not the margin right now to overprice your home because you will just sit. And so we're having to have really real conversations about that and about timeframes, about inventory levels, how much competition that they have. We are seeing a lot more days on market. We're seeing a lot more competition. With that being said, we're starting to have to get strategic. So these past few years as sellers, it's been, hey, buyers agents, bring us your offers. So many of you want this home, better make it good, sweeten that deal however you can. Now, one of the ways that we just got a home under contract that was on the market for about at least 6 months before they hired us. And then still with us, it was on the market for about 4 months or so. And we were getting a ton of activity on it. We had pretty good feedback on the home too. Nothing major to change outside of paint. And still no bites. So as listing agents, we're getting strategic. So you kind of touched on reverse offers. That's something we're doing a lot just to begin that dialogue with buyers so that we're being as proactive as real estate agents and not just waiting for a buyer's agent to send us an offer.
Hold on, let me jump in on that. Before, let's explain what a reverse offer is. But if you're watching this, please like it, love it. I forgot to do my opening that I always do. Please like it, love it, share it, because this is definitely you'll want to share this out. If you're a real estate agent, take a look at it. Share it out to everyone else in your community, as well as type L if you're watching live, hit R, type that capital R if you're hitting that replay and watching that, and leave questions and comments down below. It will definitely be answering them throughout the week. So if you have any questions about where the market is or what your potential home prices are in your neighborhood, we can definitely look that up. So Elizabeth, let's go back to tips and strategies on how we're helping clients in this market shift. What exactly is a reverse offer?
David's trolling our post right now, by the way. Okay, guys. So a reverse offer is where we as the listing agent and the seller are actually writing up an offer and submitting it over to the buyer's agent. So I'm not sitting here talking either like let's offer a discount or be strategic. I'm talking a very probably full price, clean cut offer, dependent upon how long we've been on the market and what the feedback is from those buyers. So we did that recently for a property in Frisco, which is normally one of the hottest markets we've had. Now, from that point, it still took us 2 weeks to negotiate with these people and to come to an agreement. And we accepted a contingent offer still with that being the case. So, that's something else. We're seeing buyers able to go out there and get contingencies accepted, contingent offers accepted from not only resale, which we have been able to do this whole time. It's just been really difficult. But where it's kind of coming back is with builders too. So that's how much inventory we're seeing on the market right now, where my buyers have a lot more leverage. But real quick, back to the reverse offer. Yeah, it's really a strategy to engage in a dialogue, because these buyers have so much inventory. They have so many options that if they're going to go take that night to think on that, they may also go see 5 other homes, and then you may miss out on that. So with this scenario, we stopped them from wanting to stay in their own home and put in a pool. And that started the conversation to show them how financially as an investment themselves, it was better to buy this home that already had the pool installed. Now we're serious, we're motivated, let's do business together.
Love it. Love it. And what other strategies are you doing on the listing side? Is it more of educating your clients, of having that right, bringing the price back down? I know that our business partner Austin and my brother had mentioned, when we're talking to new home sellers, that it's now time to have that difficult pricing conversation up front and possibly pricing ahead of the market, right? Meaning, when we're looking at sold data, we're looking in the past. So we're looking at that better real estate market 30, 60, 90 days behind us. And, he had mentioned possibly even doing a 5%, price below by 5%. So is that something that you're doing and advising, the good home team agents to do? Absolutely. Because pricing, like I said, is key. Price, location, condition, those are the 3 factors when getting your home sold. That also speaks to condition. We're not able anymore to just throw up a home in any condition and know people will come in and do the repairs themselves. It's got to be pristine right now. It's got to be ready to go. And that all comes back to price. So if it's not going to be ready to go, you definitely need to price accordingly. But yeah, we're having those realistic conversations about price, about reading the comps, and exactly what Austin said. Can we price
maybe not every home, but is it a strategy possibly to price a little bit under so we're not chasing this down? And we also have that conversation with sellers that remember where you price isn't always where you sell, because every seller is probably hearing this right now and freaking out and saying, I don't want to price 5% under. I don't want to leave money on the table. That's not necessarily the case. But right now we have to work with the market we're in. And that's when you need a trusted professional who does this day in, day out, and who has the expertise that we do, so that you can talk about pricing and not leaving it on the table, and show them where you may actually end up with your offer. Because otherwise you're going to have people who don't do a ton of business in this market, and they're going to say, nope, this is still a fantastic seller's market. You should be pricing way above here. It's going to sell. And that's how you're going to cause yourself to sit on the market. Or you may price too far under and actually leave money on the table. So it's really important to know like who you're hiring, and to go for that expert who can guide you on this and put you in a position to sell while protecting your money and making you as much that you can from the sale of the home.
Love it. And before we get into what this means for home buyers, let's talk about like gains, right? So the city of Prosper was up almost 40%. The Park Cities was 29%, Hearst and Colleyville 17 and 10%, and then North Oak Cliff was up 9.5%, almost 10%. So there are certain areas, just like when I went through the recession and was helping our clients then, there were parts like, I remember Richardson Heights being up, I think 10 to 12%, when everywhere around it was down 5 to 10%. So, this is definitely, there's some sub pockets that are definitely going to be up in this market. And I definitely believe Prosper was one of them because of all the new construction happening out there. But with this little shift in the real estate market, what does that mean for home buyers? Because
it's awesome.
Over the last 24 months for them hasn't been that fun.
No. And trust me, I've worked with over 70 plus home buyers in the last 24 months alone. And it hasn't been fun. It's been exhausting for home buyers. And it's been really a strain on their finances because it was so competitive. Speed to that home hitting the market was so crucial. You had to get out there within hours sometimes, or it was gone. And you had to have the money to pony up, and really in order to pay over the appraised value, or the seller was not going to take your offer seriously. It was insane. So now it's really great because buyers have the opportunity. You have a little bit more time to go out there and take a look. Like if you can't get out there because, I don't know, you're working, then you actually can get out there later that night or that weekend, and most likely the home's still there. So homes can still sell really quickly, but I'm not seeing hours for the most part. As well as we're seeing ability to negotiate down the sales price from the asking price. I'm seeing my buyers be able to get some of their closing costs covered by the seller, which is fantastic. And I know you had Michael DeBacker on like a week ago. I don't know if you guys talked about that or not, but I know as a lender, he's seeing that more and more and more. And that's an indicator that he's looking at, just saying that the market is shifting from what it has been. We have a lot more negotiation power as far as closing days, lease backs, anything needed there. And the biggest thing I think I mentioned is getting contingencies accepted. In the past few years, we've definitely done it. You have to know your contracts in and out. You have to know how to be strategic with writing an offer and presenting an offer. There's a lot more to that than just filling in the blanks that most people probably don't think about. But at this point, I'm able to get contingencies accepted without my client's home even being on the market. And that just happened. So
right.
That's exciting for them because it is always such a fear in a buyer's mind. Fair enough. Well, if I sell my home now, where am I going to next? Okay. Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Well, and the good news is obviously with home sales being down, that means more inventory. So, we're seeing buyers right now not having to compromise as much as they did, the last 12 to 24 months where
right.
they needed to buy. And, if they needed a 4-bedroom and they preferred a 3 full bathrooms, but, it was really 4, 2.5 in that certain area, they just had to compromise. Right. And so
yeah, they really did.
We're not having to see that though. We still are suggesting, and if you find that right home, typically on average, what I believe it's, between 5 to 7 houses for our buyer clients to find that
yep.
right house. To still go ahead and make an offer. And we're not, even if it's day one on the market, we're not always advising that you need to go in at full asking price at, just depending on how that showing traffic is.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And And I don't say any of this to scare the sellers out there, because at the same time, when you hire the right team who have the right resources to get your home sold for that right price, we can still get you under contract like that. So we did just have our North Richland Hills listing. Those are my clients. They went on the market yesterday and were executed today. So, I mean, 24 hours, not too shabby. And we already have them under contract on their next home. Now we were able to time this perfectly so that they're not doing two moves and they're moving from one property to the next. And then for buyers, yeah, exactly. They just have way more options. They're not having to settle anymore. And there definitely were some times, and that breaks my heart a little bit, over the past few years, where it felt like people were compromising so much just to get into a home. And that was the win. And now there can be so much more to it.
Right. And so tell me, I know that we had talked about this in some training the last couple of weeks. When consumers and potential clients are thinking about selling or buying a house, then they're interviewing real estate agents. We've always said one, we're biased, so they should hire the good home team. But an experienced agent that has been through the shift. Why is this a big deal? Why should they hire someone like our team versus someone who's only sold 5 houses in the last 12 months?
It's such a huge deal who you do business with. There's so many reasons. So let's break it down first to someone like us and our team have the experience of not just this fantastic market. This team has been around since 2007. So right there primed. You've already gone through one of the worst real estate markets the nation has ever seen, that DFW has ever seen. And if we're going to start to feel that shift again, you have someone who's been in this before who can help prep them, set their expectations, let them know what's going to come down the line, what to expect, so that they don't have all these emotional surprises later on. I think it comes into play too with knowing, you got to know some of the stats about real estate. And unfortunately, it's a really low bar of entry, as well as a very, very big, high fallout rate within the first 2 years. So once again, since it's been such a good market, people really could put a home on the market, put their sign in the yard, and it would sell in MLS. We're definitely getting away from that, where you have to be strategic. You have to have your marketing and your prospecting down in order to find buyers for your listings, and then to find those great listings for your buyers, everything there. So having someone who has the resources, someone who's got the track record. I mean, you yourself, I'll let you tell the story, but just got in touch with a client and are now helping someone sell because their agent just got out of the business already and left them high and dry. So tell people about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was referred to clients, and unfortunately, their home was on the market, and they were reaching out to us, because it hadn't sold. And one of our expertise is selling homes that have failed to sell with other agents and other brokerages. But it was also that that current agent is going inactive with their real estate license and getting a job because, I don't know the whole story, but I can only assume that they're just not making enough home sales. So, what we're already starting to see it, right, with this shift. It's already affecting real estate agents and their ability to sell more houses and to make a living in this business. I don't have the real full stat in front of me, but I can definitely find and share it. But National Association of Realtors mentioned that the average realtor income actually went backwards in 2017. And one of the best real estate markets, we went backwards, right? And so they're blaming tighter inventory levels, but we sold more houses than we ever have in 2017. So, there's, agents just aren't equipped with understanding the market, that low barrier entry. Like you said, you're right. And one thing that we have trained our agents on, one is they're definitely selling well above the average. But, when meeting with a potential seller, and it's really more seller than on the buy side, agents just want to tell the sellers what that seller wants to hear. So when they're meeting down at the kitchen table and saying, well, my last house that I sold in 24 hours and it had 10 offers on it and went 20,000 over asking price, they're not disclosing to that seller that was 4, 5, 6 months ago.
Right.
In a different real estate market, right? That'd be like, someone coming in that, back into the business from 2 years ago and never sold a house and say, well, my last home sale, I've sold it for 200% asking price and within the first hour. You have to disclose that, how many home sales you have had and how recent, right? So the consumers definitely need to know that.
Well, they need to know because, like you just said, that last home sale may have been 5-6 months ago for that agent who's boasting their numbers. And then they're coming in here. It's just setting those false expectations. It's setting them up for sale. And they're not doing it intentionally. They truly do not know. They truly are not feeling this because they don't do a ton of business. So for someone like us who's going to have 25, 30 homes on the market at once minimum, and then however many buyers we're helping on top of that, we feel any given moment when something happens, when something shifts. So just because of the size of us and our expertise, we're able to relay that over to our clients and let them know and keep them updated the entire time, which is so crucial. Something else we didn't mention, like I said, marketing and prospecting are really coming back into play in order to get those homes sold, as well as find those great homes for your buyers. Most of those agents are not going to have the resource to do that. And it's going to really require those resources now.
Absolutely. More than ever. I mean, just like we, when during the best real estate market over the last couple of years, we actually added more to our marketing arsenal. Like now we do floor plans on every single listing. We didn't need to do that. They were still selling quickly. We were just ahead of the curve, understanding that the shift was coming, and we wanted to start implementing these now, so that that when the shift, now that we're in it all the way, started happening, we're well equipped and well prepared. And one thing that is a great opportunity at this moment is if you're an investor, not a flip investor, but an investor who's going to buy and hold. Now's a great time, because typically, even with a shifting real estate market, especially if we go into lower buyer demand, that's going to kick up. Still, it's going to kick up, potentially, renter pools or opportunities to buy enough properties that will cash flow. So this is a great time to start picking up those. I know, Elizabeth, you work with several, and we've actually had several clients from California reach out to us, and now's that perfect time to actually start looking at some buy and hold opportunities. Would you agree?
Right. No, I absolutely would. I'm definitely seeing my investor clients pick up their search and get back out there and start looking, as well as, like you said, really kind of switching from that flip to let's start focusing on what we can hold.
Perfect. Well, I mean, unless you have something else, do you have anything else you want to leave everyone and maybe some knowledge? I mean, you are the Dallas area's president of the Young Professional Real Estate Network, so you should leave us with some it's wisdom.
A lot of pressure now. For the most part, guys, I really just want to say, educate yourselves, but reach out to professionals. I can't stress that enough, because truthfully, we've been talking about this for a year. Now that the media is talking about it, you may start listening to me and believing me, but it means something. And what have we always said? The media is at least 6 months behind, probably?
At least 6 months. I mean, and look at the article. Now it's already out, right? So that means that we were already in it.
And take advantage of this. And I hope some buyers and sellers are out there watching this, because let me actually say this real quick. The best way I can describe this right now, to this weird market we're in before we know fully where we're going, is a standoff. Buyers, you're not out here realizing your opportunity. So listen to this video and hear me say you have opportunity right now. And I know it's our fault. I've been training you for the past 2-3 years. If you can't go in at or above that asking price, don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. I really never said don't waste my time, but don't waste your time. You're not going to win, and you're going to emotionally, it's going to take you on a roller coaster, because you're going to fall in love with the home. Sellers, stop thinking that it's 2016 and being unrealistic on price, and listen to your professional. Hopefully they get home team. When they talk about pricing and where you need to be for the market, we're never here to give your money away. That's not how we help as many families as we do. But once we have sellers come down a little bit and buyers realize the opportunity, we can have this market again where all these transactions are still flowing. But right now we're at a standoff. And so for you sellers out there, I want you to know, and buyers, I want you to know this too. You need to know when price, location, and condition match, it's always a seller's market. Keep that in mind.
There is. I mean,
that's my mic drop.
That is. That was amazing. I will say that even during the Great Recession, there were multiple offers on, as like you said, location, price, condition, all met. There were multiple offers going on even during that time. So no, that was amazing. Love it. So if you're watching this, type L. Chances are this is the end of it. So go ahead and hit R for that replay. Like it, love it, share it, please. Please share this. We've got to start educating consumers and agents. This is definitely for real estate agents as well. And then drop some comments down below. We're going to start doing this regularly in the Good Home Team Facebook page here. So please subscribe to this so you can start keeping up with what we're doing in the market and any type of properties that we have. I know that we just picked up a great opportunity in McKinney that I'll eventually go live on and share that one out. And that one's got potential equity in it. Needs some work to it. Needs some love, but it could be potentially an investor one or someone that wants to live in a large house and a custom built house in McKinney. They can, blank slate, but they'll have some equity built in once they're done. So drop some comments down below. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Real quick, shameless plug. He did mention Keller Williams YPN. If you're an agent watching this and you feel like you're not sure what's going on in the market, under 40, it's not my fault. I didn't make the age requirement. Please come join us this Tuesday, September 25th at Lava Cantina in the Colony from 5 to 7. It's going to be the launch for the Dallas Metro YP chapter. If you're an agent, like I said, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to mastermind. The power of the network is going to be real here. So,
and you're the
mark
president.
your calendars. Yeah, I'm the president, and I'm going to I'm bringing people in from out of state to start pouring into you guys who are experiencing things, and who may be able to tell us what's going on before we actually feel it here in Texas. So if you're looking to grow your business, stay in the business, you definitely want to be there.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.